April Fool's Day, I thought it'd be funny to take all the marshmallows out of the Lucky Charms to
Yeah.
say the least Brad was not happy. I put them in a bowl for him, like he could snack on
it,
them.
it was a it was a big bowl.
Back in the day when we got mostly marshmallows.
Fucking Brad. Yeah, that how that guy's not diabetic, I don't know.
Yeah, in his castle of half drunk Mountain Dews. Brad would
Well,
drink half a Mountain Dew and then leave it and then
I
open
tell
another
you what it is, and I'm telling you this as a doctor. I'm calling myself a doctor on this one.
one. Okay.
You did not know Brad in the early days, pre high school, and Brad was kind of a sickly little fella.
Was you mean Brad with the '90s laser lights pictures?
Yes, the
Yes.
one who the background to our upcoming Christmas Carol video.
No.
Uh, I got to figure out
Yes.
how to do that, but that's gonna happen. Um,
I've been warming up my pipes.
but Brad, he was like violently uh, lactose intolerant growing up, and
Like
like he,
peanut allergy.
yeah, like he couldn't even eat like curly fries if they had like cheese product in it.
Wow.
And so like I don't know if he went into like anaphylactic shock or if he just like immediately pulled a Joe Biden and shit his pants in front of the Pope. But either way, the lactose really did a number on Brad, and he couldn't eat ice cream and shit, and he wanted to because it has all the sugar in it. Um,
Can you
and
imagine being a little kid and not be allowed to eat fucking ice cream?
I know
It would
it'd be like being the Jewish kid at Christmas.
it would be
You're
like
just
that Eddie Murphy stand up when they talk about everybody bought ice cream except for the poor kid. You
right.
ain't got no ice cream. Ain't got no ice cream.
Yeah, and then you're just like, but it's Hanukkah. There's 9 or 8 days of Hanukkah. And they're like, shut up, nerd. Where's your presents?
Oh, Lord, Brad.
But I say all that to say because he had to suffer through that bullshit growing up. Um, I don't think the diabetes is going to get him. I
No,
think that because of that payback for having a shitty childhood, they're like, hey, free diabetes. That's on us. That's on us. No,
God,
diabetes free.
God was like, okay, you can eat ice cream or have a big dick. What do you want? Handsome
And he's
bad. He took handsomeness and the big dick. Bam.
yep. I know.
Mm-hmm.
And God was like, you're the wisest man we've come across so far. We're going to let you eat some ice cream now.
Right? You suffered long enough.
um, hey, Omicron's going to get us. Omicron variant is going to shut down the world. Um, and it's about time. It's about time we just shut down again. It just feels like about that time.
Whenever I hear Omicron, all I can think of is that giant planet transformer that
Mm-hmm.
eats the world.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it Omicron or Omicron?
The COVID?
Well, either or.
I
Are they,
don't even know. It's the cron.
the cron.
Mm-hmm.
The cron. It's out there, and I've been. It just simply wants to get you. It just wants to get you.
So will you be a survivor for a third time, Matt? Is what you're telling me?
Um,
You think?
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so.
Yeah,
Like
that'd be good.
I want my punch card of all the variants that I've caught.
So instead of a vaccine card, you, you get a punch card, and then after 5 punches, you get a free ice cream.
Yeah, I mean, it's either a free vaccine or a free ice cream. One of the two. I haven't. It's your call. But I mean, if you just, what happens if you ask for another punch card and you just keep collecting punch cards? Like, is there a bigger prize at the end? I don't know how it all works.
And
We're,
you
we're
know what?
only we're only 2 years into this never-ending pandemic, so there's a lot of time to find out the details.
I mean, with your punch card, you're gonna get the diabetes.
And the diarrhea, like Joe Biden did
Just
in front of the Pope.
just peeing out of his butt.
He also had a real butt clapper against in front of the Duchess of Cornwall, which is that. I mean, fucking America.
Is there audio of that?
I don't know, but apparently this Duchess was
Yes.
was talking about it all about it in front of high society.
I mean, I'm sorry if the president of the United States farted in my presence, even if I was getting an award for like saving the world from an asteroid, all I would talk about is that the president farted in my presence.
Oh, I know. That's
And I would remember every detail. It would be in like Biodome where they're sitting there and he's like farting, he's guessing what the other guy had for lunch.
yeah, yeah. It's
Dig a little
exactly.
deeper, a little deeper.
It's like on Step Brothers. It's like ketchup, ketchup and onion. I can taste it. Yeah, but I can only hope that that it was loud and clappy as I'm envisioning. Because I mean, I just want that for America.
Oh, it would be the firecracker. You know, the just the you know the what is the firecracker that pops? It's got all the
The,
little dynamite sticks off of it.
yeah, it's what Larry the Cable Guy called the machine gun farts, I believe.
Yes, yes, yes.
I think that's what he called it. Yeah, it was the machine gun farts, and yeah, I think that's what we need. That is what we need. What the hell?
I
The
feel like
cameras.
those types of farts are definitely more older people farts because you kind of have to have a lot of skin on your butt and not a lot of meat
Yeah, a
to
lot of
produce
surface
that
area.
clapping.
You
Yes.
need a lot of surface area.
Hmm.
It's essential.
Well, and did you see? So the CEO of Twitter, the co-founder, stepped down today.
I saw that.
Have you seen his picture? Does he just look like he looks like a Bond villain? And I'm not even talking about a Bond villain during Sean Connery day, like the most recent Bond villains where they're really creepy looking. They look like they write sequel, and they've got like piercing, like something hipster on them. He's got a nose piercing. He just looks like a fucking Bond villain.
Yeah, I yeah, he looks like he would be one of Dick Cheney's henchmen.
He's that political. He's like the political operative in the campaign who's just always the one who made sure they had huge dogs in their photo op.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly right.
And
Um,
he wears turtleneck sweaters, but only in black.
only in black.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
That's about right.
I really don't give
That's
a shit
about
if
right.
he stepped down, but all that he looks like he should be instead of a white cat, maybe just like a chihuahua.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um. Well, and it sounds like the guy that's taken over for him is even worse. Like I think like what's it? Jack Dorsey is. Um. I think him personally, he's like a super free speech guy. He's like really into Bitcoin and like decentralized kind of everything. But his company was not. Holy shit, were they like man, when you have the Taliban with an active Twitter account but not the former president of the United States, like Jesus Christ, man. Like where exactly are your boundaries there?
I'm sorry for keep on harping on this, but him looking like a Bond villain's really bugging me. If he was in a Bond film, his master plan would be that nobody could have children anymore because he doesn't like children. That
Yeah.
that's what he looks like. Yeah.
He also looks like he might have been present on January 6th. Because he also gives off that vibe.
Or rioting in a city this past summer.
Yeah. Yeah,
He's
he could have been right up in the Chaz.
you know what his villain name would be? The Chameleon.
The chameleon. You
Yeah.
know, let's talk about the Chaz. Like I was actually kind of a little bit of a fan of it. Like they were a bunch of idiots, but I was like, ah, good for them. Good for
Wait,
you,
what
commies.
what's the Chaz?
You not remember the Chaz Chop
Uh-uh.
in Seattle where they like took over 6 city blocks and
Oh
like
yeah.
created
Oh,
their own little city?
that's what it was called, the Chaz Chop.
Well, it was the Chaz, and then they changed it to the Chop because it was this
Mm.
like Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, which had a nice little ring to it. I'm not gonna lie,
It does.
but then
It
they,
sounds very former Soviet Union.
yeah, well, or it just sounds like a lesbian. um, but yeah, then they changed it to the Capitol Hill Occupied Protest or something like that, which just sounds not good either way. Like you don't want occupied in your name.
No, I thought that side was against occupations, or is that not correct? No?
I don't know, but they occupied Wall Street,
Yes, they did.
and
Yeah.
you know, and with legitimate like righteous outrage, they just had no fucking idea where to direct it to.
Oh shit, that's right. I forgot totally about that.
Yeah, because my my dad went out and camped out with the Occupy people in Denver, and
No,
he's like, yeah, he was like, hey, I don't know if they know what they're protesting against, but hey, I'm all for freedom of speech. So have at it, fellas.
I just wanted to be amongst the people.
He was like, I'm not sure what they're protesting. I don't think they know what they're protesting, but I'm all in favor of your right to protest. So, and I think he just thought it'd be a fun time.
Your dad, he just got that hard on because they were just saying a big fuck you to any top dog.
Yeah, any
That's
sort of
that.
authority, and they were giving a middle finger, and Wes McKinley's
Mhm.
about it.
I'm
He's
there.
about it. um, did you catch the Seth Rogen bullshit on Twitter?
No, I did it. Yeah, so I was out of town for quite a
I
while and just totally shut off. So this is going to be a new approach. McKinley just gives me stories that I have no clue about, and then I just have honest reaction. Nobody's telling me what to think. You know, I'll just
okay.
have honest
Let
reaction.
me let me see if I can. Well, what did you see? Like what did you see this week that like stuck out in your mind while I'm pulling up this little Twitter
Oh,
thread
let's
because
see.
it's
God,
funny.
I had so few. I totally shut off. You know what? What I saw today that was hilarious. So Chris Cuomo is now in trouble. Oh, on top of that, so there was a shooting in Michigan today, like a school shooting. Should be
I saw
news.
that.
Fox
Yeah.
News, all Fox News could talk about is Chris Cuomo getting suspended from CNN because he big story, yes, but basically he got suspended because it was found out that he was digging dirt up on his brother's accusers, and he was like
Yeah.
coaching them all the way through while I mean, yeah.
It's also it is kind of interesting that they brought that up at the same time as a school shooting because they've known about Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo for a while. They just happen to spring it during a school shooting, so it just kind of gets out of
Muddle
the
that
way.
down. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's let's play tapes of Chris Cuomo and
Yeah,
that idiot working out. That's what they did.
all yeah, or also it's kind of like the way an SUV plowed through a parade of
Yes.
dancing grannies in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Not a like a violently anti-white disgruntled black man. No, just an SUV plowed through.
Or more that the guy on bail who's been let out on bail numerous times for violent offenses. Um,
Yeah,
and was it the bail like something really small? I don't know what the charge was. I don't know his history. I don't know the case, but if he's been let out on bond on numerous violent violations, and I think the bond was crazy, like I don't know, $1,000, $2,000. That's not the story.
yeah, no, it's those goddamn SUVs burn so much fossil fuels. Crowds of dancing grannies in Wisconsin. Goddamn SUVs.
Silent killer.
Uh, Semi-silent killer. You can usually hear them coming.
Oh, it's so bad. Fuck.
Okay, so here we go. And I don't know who the guy that he's referring to here, but I'll put it on the screen, or who the guy that Seth Rogen is replying to. But it's pretty entertaining, tone deaf. So our cars got robbed. Can you see it there, Aaron?
I can.
My maybe not.
Now I see your salt and pepper cocksucker looking face.
All right. So, damn it,
Matt.
So Seth Rogen coming in with the hottest take of all time. This guy Casey Neistat, I guess he's like a YouTube guy. So our cars got robbed this morning because Los Angeles is a crime-ridden third world shithole of a city. But a tremendous amount of appreciation and gratitude to the hardworking officers of LAPD. Blah blah blah. Not only arrested the motherfucker, but they got all of our stolen goods back. And Seth Rogen says, "Dude, I've lived here for over 20 years. You're nuts. It's lovely here. Don't leave anything valuable in it. It's called living in a big city." And guy says, "I can still be mad though, right? Feel so violated." So you can be mad, I guess. This is Seth Rogen, but don't personally view my car as I don't personally view my car as an extension of myself, and I've never really felt violated any of the 15 or so times that my car was broken into.
15
Once a guy accidentally left a cool knife in my car, so if it keeps happening, you just might get a little treat.
What? Is he high as fuck? Like, or is he fucking with him?
I've never personally. I can't hear I think your audio's off.
Damn it. Maybe your audio's off.
There you are.
Do you hear me now?
You're muted.
Not muted, you son of a bitch. That's a cocksucker. Test 1, 2.
I can't hear you.
God damn it, Matt. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay. I got you now.
Don't worry, the boomer figured it out.
So, I've never personally felt violated the first 15 times you banged my wife. And sometimes you might just get a little baby out of the deal if you just keep letting it happen.
Right.
You just might get a little gift.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 15 times, You get a
That's just a
special.
party.
You
That's a
get a new.
party.
You get a new side weapon. Yes. Wow. Holy shit. He had to
Yeah.
be he had to be blazed out of his mind, right? That's the
Oh,
only fucking explanation. Or fucking with the
well,
guy.
no. Seth Rogen has just become that woke over the past couple of years.
Huh.
Like he was a guy that was like screeching at the top of his lungs at Ben Carson for making like a Holocaust reference, and I mean he's like off the rails, man. Like R.I.P. He made some really funny shit back in the day, but
Did
man, he is just off the rails woke.
did he smoke himself dumb?
I don't know. It's a good chance of it.
Uh,
I good chance. I don't know if the weed had anything to do with it or if it probably had something to do with it.
man.
But I also think he's just that dumb. Funny
Hmm.
guy though. Funny guy. Very funny actor.
Funny guy both intentionally and not intentionally.
Yeah. Um there
If
was what was there was another like I can't remember it now, but not a sent me this article the other day, and I'm not sure what to think about this. So it's from the New York Post. World's first living robots can now reproduce, scientists say.
what?
The world's first living robots, known as xenobots, xenobots, can now reproduce, U.S. scientists have revealed. Details about the robots created using the heart and skin stem cells from the African clawed frog were unveiled last year after experiments showed they could move and self-heal.
This Does nobody ever
Now,
watch The Matrix or Terminator?
um, now the scientists at Tufts University, the University of Vermont, and Harvard, who made the Xenobots, say the tiny blobs can also self-replicate. The results of the new research were published in blah, 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 blah. Experiments show the organisms can swim out into their dish, find other single cells, and assemble baby xenobots. A few days later, the babies become new xenobots that look and move just like the initial creation.
Well, that's fucking terrifying.
Hold on.
Uh-oh. What is Matt doing? He's got his he's plugging in. He's got his Dre Beats. Can you hear me now, Matt?
Yeah, my technology. All right. So, what was your thoughts on that nonsense?
Did you not hear anything? I
No,
was
not
like,
really. No.
my first comment was, has nobody ever seen the Matrix trilogy or the Terminator trilogy? Um,
Oh,
When's
yeah.
Skynet coming?
So there's that, and also, what makes these robots? What
They
what what exactly makes these a robot?
they need oil if their gears start to creak. That's
Well,
what
they
makes
need
them.
oil, or they need a power supply. So are they creating little babies with little batteries?
Dude, haven't you seen batteries not included? Come on.
Well, I'm saying though, is like, can it really create life or like reproduce if there's not a battery included or some access to an
Again,
external power supply?
maybe if you've seen battery not included, you would get it.
Is that a movie?
They oh you haven't seen it?
I don't
Oh
think so.
yes, it's a delightful story. It's a story about this apartment building that has a very old tenant, and they're all very good friends, except there's one bad seed tenant. And then these little robot aliens come down, and they're kind of like elves in the cobbler shop. While the cobbler sleeps, they help to renovate this rundown apartment building and help them, and they all become better people. And batteries are not included, and they have little babies, and they don't need batteries, Matt.
Hmm.
Yes.
Okay, I just. All right, so let's go back to this article here.
Okay.
The Xenobots, the new Xenobots can then go out and self-replicate again, according to the scientists. Xenobots wide are designed on a computer and hand-assembled, and scientists said they were stunned to learn the tiny blobs could spontaneously replicate. People have thought for quite a long while that we've worked out all the ways that life can reproduce or replicate, but this is something that's never been observed before, said Douglas Blackston. Remember that name when we know who to send to the guillotine when we get taken over by cyborgs.
He's
Douglas
Miles
Blackston.
Dyson
Oh, hold
from
on.
the Terminator. Yep.
Douglas Blackiston. Let me get this right so we know who to take to the guillotine. Douglas Blackiston, who worked on the study. This is
Thanks, Doug.
profound, said Michael Levin or Levine, co-founder of the research, put him on the guillotine list as well. When the cyborgs take over. This is a comedy show, YouTube, by the way. It's a comedy show. I'm not actually calling for a guillotine squad here. However, though, if this shit is what I think it is, can we just shoot these people out into space so they can never do research again?
Right?
This kind of sounds a lot like playing with fire.
Kind of.
Kind of like souping up a bat virus to make it more transmissible to humans, you know, and then letting it get out of the lab. Like that kind of playing with fire. That seems about like what this is. Like let's just not. I'm not that interested in robots anymore.
Well, and you were talking about what's their energy source. You know what? It's going to be us. We're just going to be batteries, like in the Matrix. Who's going to be our Neo? Oh,
Not me. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
can I just be the fat 35, 36-year-old that lives in Colorado?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's we call that a lateral movement between jobs.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, kill that with fire.
Right?
Kill that with fire. It's like the Chinese when they're like sewing a human face onto a monkey. Just stop that, please. Please don't do that. Like for the good, like that's what people should have said with Russia and the U.S. on nukes and like, oh yeah, please not, no,
No,
please no,
hard no.
don't do that. Self-replicating robots, no,
You know what that
no.
sounds like? That sounds like the start of the Bond villain or the James Bond movie that the guy from Twitter's the Bond villain in.
Right. Jack
I've got
Dorsey.
I've got this gray goo.
Yeah, and
It'll
he
destroy the world.
and you just like see he does like one of those face dissolve things, and he becomes Mr. Anderson.
Right?
Or Agent, is it Agent X or whatever? But the one that always says Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
I haven't seen The
Agent
Matrix in a
Smith.
while. Agent Smith, that's right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun
So
to laugh about terrifying things.
yeah, Sierra Brown was asking if they're just made of cells, and I don't know. That's what I'm asking. It's like, where does the power source come in? Like, are they consuming? They have to be consuming energy to move and replicate and all that shit. So, like, where does the energy come from? Are they consuming like plant material, or are they battery powered? How's that work?
And if they were actually, photosynthetic, I feel like in this day and age where we're all about, reusable energy, that's the first thing that would be in the article.
So
So it's
this is
obviously not using sunlight.
this is gonna be my boomer question of the week.
Oh, do tell.
Is this a Bitcoin? Is this what Bitcoin is? Because I'm not real for sure.
this is this is exactly what Bitcoin is.
I mean,
Exactly what
it might as well be because I wouldn't know the difference.
It's like cavemen looking at fucking rockets.
um,
We just don't know.
yeah. So, but Bitcoin is at um like 50 something thousand right now.
$1 trillion, $1 billion.
$57,000 a Bitcoin.
That's
I don't
another.
I don't know what a Bitcoin is. I have some Bitcoin. I don't know what it is. I don't know what gives it its value, but apparently one of those is worth 57,000 and change of these little fellers. So I don't know. Is this self-replicating robot a Bitcoin? That's my question.
I had this conversation with my coworker, and we're talking because he knows about Bitcoin. And initially started, you have to mine for them, and
Yeah.
they're mathematical equations. And we went through this whole thing, and I kind of looked at him, like kind of half jokingly. I was like, "So it's not actually like a real thing." And he's like, "Is the dollar a real thing? It's not even backed up by gold anymore."
No.
You know,
That's exactly right.
it was
And
such a good argument. It was such a libertarian argument. I'm like, you know what? It's all artificial. Yeah, you're right.
exactly. And at least this is somewhat anonymous. Uh,
Right?
so, which is why they were trying to get the IRS to look into every account with more than $600 so they could monitor and find out a way to tax Bitcoin. Because as of right now, you can't really do it. They can try, but there's not really a way to do it.
Right?
And once again, I don't know how any of it works, but it seems like this self-replicating robot might be a Bitcoin. It
Sounds like
also
witchcraft, like that
it,
rain.
it might also be a ploy by the science squanch, and we'll never know.
I was fucking waiting for that shit.
Well, this week, I don't think this is a full-on science sighting because as I've said before, I don't think Lauren Boebert is a science squanch. I think she's just that dumb. But
Oh my god.
she might be being advised by science squanch. So
Did you hear that whole
Marjorie Taylor Greene though I think is I think she's full squatch.
Did you hear that old fucking I'm sorry. It's like it's a petty fight at this point where she tried to call Ilhan Omar to apologize, but didn't exactly apologize. She more said that you should apologize to the citizens of the United States. It's just they're going back and forth, and it's like two girls in high school. No, you're the fat one. No, you're the fat one. Well, you know what? Jimmy doesn't even want to really go out with you.
Yeah, and I watched there was some video of I don't know if it was like a town hall or like a fundraiser or something that she was speaking at, and she is very good looking. Like
Oh yeah,
she's a
knockout.
very attractive woman, and she plays it up. Like she's got like one of those well a shirt kind of like this. It's got like the American flag on the shoulder, and she's wearing what do they call the jeggings or whatever
Mm-hmm.
the and high heels. I mean, she looks good. And I was watching this, and she's basically just performing stand up at this point. A very low quality stand up.
Very.
But that's all it is. She's like, and so anyway, I look to my right, and there's a security card coming towards the elevator, and it's like, I can't go anywhere, blah, blah, blah. And there's Ilhan Omar. And I said, well, she doesn't have a backpack, so I guess we're all right. And the crowd goes wild, you know? And and you're just like, huh. So this is the state of national politics. If
She's Andrew Dice Clay right now.
And you know what? I know many people that feel the exact same way I feel about her, and I cannot blame them because the alternative was worse. And that's that's isn't that awful?
Matt. Oh, can we pause for 1 second to look at the elf on the shelf that was purchased?
Yes. Is it the Chet Sikin? Oh man. Chet got a little overcooked. I sent you a picture. Chet got a little overcooked.
You know what? It's the scurry version of Chet.
Yeah, that is a Indian or a Pakistani.
Not as much hair as Scurry, but maybe like Scurry when he's 1 year old before his beard came in.
Yeah, like you got to catch those Indians early before the beard rolls in early on them.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Yeah, that whole Bobert Ilhan Omar, that is oh man, what a dumb. They're not even actually fighting over anything. That you're exactly right. It is exactly like a high school drama.
She's the head of the cheerleading squad that won student council, and now she wants free candy for everybody. And she's fighting with the math team.
No, it's not even that. It is it's the cheerleading squad versus the woke cheerleading squad.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
They're both not actually trying to change anything.
Would it be the cheerleaders versus the emos for people of our generation?
Kinda, but it's only if like the emos were also cheerleaders. It's like
they made
it's like
their own squad.
Yeah, it's well, all right. So it's like
oh my god.
So it'd be like Elizabeth had a cheerleading squad, like Elizabeth, Colorado. So like not quite Denver, not quite rural America anymore. But like right there on that borderline. High school. Just enough diversity, but it's also it's all superficial diversity too. It'd be like those two cheerleading squads going back and forth.
Right. Yeah. And the principal's doing nothing to stop it.
The principal is shitting his pants in front of the Pope. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Mackey became principal. Okay, I'm gonna need you to stop fighting. Okay.
There's like on a because I've missed the last several episodes or seasons of South Park.
Yeah.
But I watched the post-COVID special, which was goddamn hilarious. But it was so funny that I knew I was missing out on a ton of. I forgot that the South Park fellas hung Reality in 2015. So all this nonsense that we're living through now, like the prophets that are known as Matt Stone and Trey Parker foresaw this back in 2015.
I don't remember the 2015 they hung Reality.
That was the Safe Space episode
Mm.
where
Oh, yeah.
Butters had to go cleanse everybody's social media feeds, and
Yeah,
he went nuts because Reality was trying to get him, and then at the end, like Butters is all beat up, and and he's the executioner at the gallows for Reality, and they just hang him. He's like, "You sure this is a good idea?" Yeah.
yeah, and
Whack.
that was the one where he defended Steven Seagal
Uh-huh.
because he's now fat.
Yep, Steven Seagal and Vin Diesel and like Demi Lovato or something.
Yes, yes, because
Yeah.
she had some body issues with
Those
her.
guys, oh my god. I I I've always been just a giant fan of South Park, but they are so goddamn funny. Like,
You know, I got a bone to pick with them though.
mm,
Like initially, this isn't their fault. Initially, buying Castaneda was like, yeah, let them buy Castaneda. But you know what's going to happen? We are never ever going to be able to go to Castaneda because everybody and their mom will want to go to Castaneda.
you know, that part is true, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
It's for the good of the country. If I can't
Well,
experience it,
and
whatever.
also, not that they need any more money, but it's going to give more money to Matt Stone and Trey Parker to do whatever it is they've been doing their entire lives, and I'm okay with that.
Oh, you mean their truth tour?
Yeah, I mean, if there was, if we could put Jeff Bezos' amount of wealth and just give it to Matt Stone and Trey Parker, I would be fine with that. Because can you imagine what they would come up with? I mean, you everybody in America would have the best abs on earth because you'd be laughing constantly. I can't imagine what they would come up with.
Well, and ironically, much like Bezos and Musk, they would make their rockets look like dicks as well.
Oh, but they would put veins on them. You
Yeah,
know,
they
they would
would.
put veins on those rockets. I think we should start a petition. It's just like make Matt Stone and Trey Parker the head of NASA. And this is me coming as a dyed in the wool hardcore libertarian. I'm okay with my tax dollars going to be wasted by Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
Every time
I'm
there
okay.
was a every time there's a launch, there'd be a dick on it. You'd have a
I,
dick on the screen every time there's a launch.
and you know, take over the national airwaves to announce it. Like there would be no just like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. No, it'd just be like Amber Alert on everything. There's a rocket being launched, and it'd just be a giant dick, and it'd probably have a huge set of nuts. Like it probably wouldn't ever make orbit because the nuts would be weighing it down.
They'd probably put streamers on the balls,
You'd have to. You have to at that point.
like fire resistant streamers.
Obviously, I mean, but if they were flammable, it would really add a nice touch to it.
It would simulate gonorrhea.
Yeah. To speculate about, instead of what do they call the jet? Not jet streams, but fuck it.
I
The
didn't catch any of that.
chemtrails.
Yes.
It'd be like chemtrails on steroids. And Alex Jones would go nuts with that. Oh, by the way, did you hear that Alex Jones has got subpoenaed?
No.
Yeah, for the January 6th commission. I can't fucking wait. I cannot wait.
That's like that's subpoena porn right there.
I mean, come on. Like, I will
That's
be tuned right into C-SPAN for that bitch.
if it was football season, and even if my fantasy football team was banking on the game, I would watch Alex Jones instead out of the hearing.
Fuck yeah. Shout out to the Denver Broncos. I bet against them this week and they did really well. So, good job. You're welcome. And yeah.
Oh, they did. They fucking
Yeah.
they I picked them to lose too. I
I
don't
didn't
know,
even
man.
pick them to lose. I just picked LA to cover the spread. Yeah, and no, they did not. They did not. Um
Yeah, that defense, man. Sertan had 2 picks.
yeah.
I don't know, man. They're so fucking up and down. I don't think they'll beat the Chiefs this week. And you know what? They're gonna go 8-9, which was exactly what we did want.
Right in the middle of the pack. So you don't get the top tier level. Also not in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
they're kind of exactly where the Broncos have been since Peyton Manning left.
Well, you know what? At least they're
Picks, but
doing
for the most part,
at
right in
least
the
they're
middle of
doing
the
better
road.
than the Rockies.
That's true. Aaron Rodgers troll this week. Did you see that?
No, what happened now? What did the best name in NFL?
My word, this was glorious. So he went on Pat McAfee's show, and he's had the nagging toe injury for a while now.
Does he have the
And,
gout?
well, he turns out he had like a broken toe or fractured toe or something. But as they were bringing and McAfee's been trying to get it out of him for a couple weeks of what actually was wrong, and McAfee said something like, "Oh, and you got the COVID toe over there,"
That's right. And weren't they
and
reporting that he had COVID toe or some shit
yeah,
like
so
that?
then Rogers goes, "Yes, I've got the COVID toe over there," obviously joking. Wall Street Journal ran an entire article about how
No.
COVID toe is a real thing. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
is what are the cases of the COVID toe? And is it
I
like does it enter your joints?
I didn't read the article
Okay.
because I was just like, you know what? I don't have to. Aaron Rodgers has now become one of my favorite people on earth just because of the sheer trollness of that. Because if you listen to the rest of the interview, that was obviously sarcasm, but they took it and ran with it. And then they're also like, oh, he's making fun of people who actually suffer from this toe related condition stemming from the coronavirus.
I'm sorry if Pat McAfee had asked Aaron Rodgers jokingly if he had gout and he made fun of gout. I have fucking gout. I would laugh my fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Yes, it fucking hurts like a bitch, but comedy.
Yeah,
Comedy.
and I'm sure COVID toe hurts like a motherfucker, but until the Wall Street Journal went and ran that article, nobody knew that was an actual thing. And nobody
That's
actually thought that was a real thing, except for those who are so ingrained into the narrative that you have to aim anybody who goes against the official COVID narrative that you can't. We're not dealing with real people anymore. It's religious fundamentalism that on all sides. Like humor has been lost.
I'm reading an article on COVID toe from a medically reviewed by Dr. Sarisha Yalayo, written by Rebecca Joy.
Sounds sounds legit. She's that would be an Indian name, and I would trust her with my medical care.
So it says one of the more unusual symptoms. So it's not like predominant. It's looking
Obviously,
like. So why the fuck do we have to write a story about it?
Because Aaron Rodgers chose to speak out against vaccines because he happens to be allergic to one of them. And you have to shame people that don't agree with Aaron. This is what it is. You have to shame them because they are stupid, illiterate people, and that's how the world works anymore.
Well, and I also like I'm vaccinated. My wife's PA, whatever. But Fauci going on 60 Minutes, basically talking in the third person and saying if
He
you go against
represents
him,
science.
yes, you go against him, it goes against science. Like easy there. Fuck it. It sounds like who persecuted Galileo, or who was the guy who said the world wasn't flat, it was round? The
Was it?
scientific community, whoever the lead guy is, that's how he sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah, because it was either Galileo or Copernicus that was saying the
Mm-hmm.
world is round. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
it's the same. And like Rand Paul is like trying his ass off in the Senate to be like, can you not see how big of a fraud this guy is? Can you not see? and and people are just like, oh, that Rand Paul is a real extremist.
People are like, it's not so much we don't like science, we just don't like you, dude.
Yeah, yeah, and just like man, ah, I don't know, like this whole thing, you're just like the ivermectin deal. That was one of the big things they hated Aaron Rodgers for because he said, "Hey, I called Joe Rogan to see what he did," and they're like, "Oh, Joe Rogan's not a doctor." No, but he had COVID, and so like I've had plenty of people who are like, "Hey, what did you do for COVID?" And I was like, I did this. I don't. It seemed to help. I don't know, whatever. But you should probably talk to a doctor. But this is what I did.
Matt instead jerking off once a day, jerked off 3 times a day and sweated it out.
I made sure I put a trash bag over myself first, though. Maximum sweat yank.
you you didn't, thank goodness you didn't do a David Carradine.
No, no. That has not been FDA approved. That one's still pending further animal trials. So,
Got
uh,
it.
yeah. I probably said too much. Probably said
Are
too
they
much.
using the coconut monkeys for that?
I probably said too much.
Oh, Hill
Uh,
Dog's gonna take you out with Fauci. Man.
hey, speaking of which, Ghislaine Maxwell, total piece of shit. No relation to the Clintons whatsoever.
Who's Giselle Maxwell?
Ghislaine Maxwell, it's Jeffrey Epstein's girlfriend, recruiter person.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's on trial right now.
The madam who brought
She
the
is.
victims to the creepy Epstein
Mhm.
dungeon, the touchy box room.
Who Bill Clinton was not a part of. Definitely not a part of.
Oh fuck, man! I it was so funny when I was on campaign. People would watch House of Cards, and I was like, no, it's not like that. They're not that smart. Eh, maybe a little bit of the rapey vibe from House of Cards seems to be in politics. I don't know.
See, I was listening to the I think it was the Black Rifle podcast, but Evan Hafer was saying he's like, I keep hearing all these conspiracy theories about the CIA, and he's like, is there another CIA that I wasn't working for? Because the one I worked for was incompetent as shit. And
Which is even more terrifying than them being
shady.
See, even worse, and I think this is the reality, is we do have those seriously bad actors that like the H.W. Bush types like have been working the scene, behind the scenes for decades.
Very, 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 very sneaky.
Very sneaky.
Read my lips.
And then have like the organization below them. I think it really manifested itself in Trump, where you have like this bombastic, like go get him figure, and then you have the administration, like we're gonna end the war in Iraq by appointing John Bolton as national security advisor.
I mean, even from a war hawk, I'm like, come on.
Yeah, right.
Come on.
You're just like, this is where one of the main times where I was like, this is starting to feel a lot like a simulation. This is feeling like this was planned.
It would be like if the president went on national television and says, I am going to stop sexual trafficking, and Jeffrey Epstein was the head of that.
Is the czar.
Yes, he's the czar. Come on.
Which, that in itself, why are we calling people fucking czars? The czar is a term of Russian royalty, which we are by design against. Not just the Russians, but all royalty.
Right.
And now we have positions in our government called czars.
Oh,
and they're not even called tongue in cheek anymore.
Is there a conspiracy theory in there? Is there a Matt McKinley fucking gold nugget in there?
No, there's not even that. It's just like that's how far we've fallen from like the original basis of what the country was founded on, where like take the Articles of Confederation, where like everybody had their own currency and whatnot, and we just banded together for defense. We went from that to now we have czars in the government, positions known as czars, and they're not even called that tongue in cheek anymore. Like that's just an actual title now.
Those commies are very, very sneaky.
Very sneaky. Speaking of commies,
Yeah.
this I wanted to applaud that stupid fucking commie frog, Emmanuel Macron. Or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because he's like, you dirty fucking Americans with your woke culture are trying to ruin French culture. And I'm just like, thank you. Why am I clapping for a fucking French guy? I hate the French. I hate the goddamn French.
This, your simulation argument gets stronger and stronger, because who would have ever thought that the French were like, whoa, take it easy, Americans, joke a little.
And not just any French, but a fucking commie. A commie French told us to knock it off. And I agreed with him. And I 100% agree with him. It's just another episode of where the simulation comes full circle, where the French socialist president, Emmanuel Macron, is now becoming a right-wing folk hero.
Right. Hey, that French guy's making pretty good sense.
Yeah. Fuck yeah!
Fuck yeah! France?
We or whatever the fuck.
Well, I bet those French drink this Budweiser.
I don't like that wine, but I like what he's saying, so wee motherfucker.
You go on, French bullfrog. You just blow that out.
Get it, Frenchie. Get it. Come on.
Oh, my fuck.
God, yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
We are watching the fall of the American Empire, and It's depressing, but god damn it, is it entertaining. It is really fucking entertaining.
Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained?
Mm-hmm.
So have you noticed that I know you said you've been out of the news for the last week or so, but they are really trying to push Pete Buttigieg here lately. Like
Yeah, what's going on with that? He's been well because the infrastructure bill's been out, but even before and after that.
the infrastructure bill, which he had nothing to do with, and he was also on paternity leave the whole time it was being debated.
Right. Well, we could say it again. Matt McKinley and I think that
Mhm.
some time should be spent, but not 3 months. Like I would not want to be on maternity leave for free 3 months. And also, if you're the head of a fucking major government organization during a crisis that directly is affected by your office, eh, get your ass to work.
Well, and you also knew a while ago that you were going to be tapped as something in the administration. You knew that before you went ahead and, bowed out of the race and endorsed Biden, just like every other candidate not named Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so you knew you had something coming, and it was likely going to be a cabinet position. You might think about holding off the adopting of twin special needs babies until after you're done with your cabinet position. Maybe, you know, who am I to say? He's a gay guy. We can't judge.
I also have a question for you. Is
Mm-hmm.
Don Lemon being sued or charged with anything?
I'm sure he's being sued. That one little bitch was suing him.
Oh, okay. Or was he being charged for sexual assault with that other guy? Remember
No, no, it
the
was
the episode with the guy?
yeah, it was just a lawsuit. That dude
Oh, okay.
is a bigger bitch than Don Lemon, and I think that is he proved that with his own interview that he is
You
a
know,
bigger bitch than Don Lemon.
Matt, Matt, it's all about fight or flight.
Yeah, and he
He chose
flew.
flight. He
He
chose flight.
chose flight. That motherfucker is gonna get rich. God bless America. What a fucking
What a
bitch
place.
made move.
What a
God
place.
damn. Um. Also, this is kind of a side note for only kind of inner circle type folks that know us personally. I listened to an interview with Brian Urlacher today.
Mhm.
Oh, it's got to break Rob's heart.
Oh God, I can't hear.
It
Oh, can't, after this is done, I'm gonna text Rob and ask him if he heard about it.
yeah, because Urlacher is very much a staunch conservative.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he doesn't even list the Chicago Bears as his number one football team.
Of course not.
Nope, it's the Dallas Cowboys.
It's his number one favorite team.
Yeah,
Oh, he didn't.
yeah,
Didn't Urlacher only play for the Bears?
yep,
Oh God.
yes.
Fuck you, Bears.
I know.
Fuck you,
Isn't
Bears
it?
Nation.
Isn't it just fucking delicious?
It's that would be like if Carl Mecklenburg was fucking. He was like the fan of what was his favorite team?
Well, Urlacher's was the Cowboys, so it'd be like Mecklenburg would be like a fan of the Seahawks or something.
Or even an AFC team.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
guess it'd have to be an AFC team. So it'd be like
Mhm.
the Colts. Like Mecklenburg was a big Colts fan.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, this was like a solid hour and 15-minute conversation with Erlacher. I fucking love Erlacher even more now, but I would just love, like, I'm gonna try to get Erlacher on the podcast just so I can get him to sign a picture that
Eat shit, Rob.
or something. Well, and he used the word pandemic, and I want to get Erlacher sign something that says pandemic to Rob.
Some to the extent, don't be a sheep, Rob, and Bears Nation. Eat shit. Love Brian.
Love Brian Erlacher.
Not even Erlacher, just love Brian.
Oh, it'd be so good. It'd be so good. Yeah, so that's my goal for that is my New Year's resolution for 2022 is to get Brian Erlacher on the podcast just so I can get him to sign something.
Oh my God, I got a great idea. So you know that application where you can have celebrities say messages?
Cameo.
Oh my God. We got to find a bear.
Also, Gilbert Gottfried is really big on there, and I've seriously considered asking him for a cameo before.
Like send it to like Tim and be like, eat shit, Tim.
So there's a cameo where somebody sent him the lyrics to WAP, and so it's Gilbert Gottfried reading. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet ass pussy. Oh, what a legend. Gilbert Gottfried.
Yeah,
Man.
did he get in trouble a while back for something?
Oh, probably. Who knows? Everybody got in trouble for something.
Apparently.
I mean, yeah, that's the nice thing is you're starting to see like the super left wing eat themselves nowadays, and that's kind of a beginning of the end, and that's like they'll eventually all eat themselves. Like Don Lemon, the fact that he's getting sued for sexual harassment against a bitch of a dude, that's a sign of the beginning of the end of this wokeness, I think.
Well, and you know what? With the Chris Cuomo stuff, I thought the news media would start to eat their own. Man,
I'm glad you brought that up.
They are laying on the thick, he's a good dude. We all make mistakes. Just like that's probably one of the worst mistakes as a journalist you can make is digging up dirt on your brother's accusers.
Right.
Like that's fucking
okay.
That's
so
bad.
They didn't report on any of the Andrew Cuomo stuff because it was just a conflict of interest. But they had no problem putting him on every single night during the pandemic, where because of his decisions, thousands of old people died in nursing homes unnecessarily.
I have to say my favorite interview of 2020 was him and his brother talking about ear swabs, and he brings like who fucking made that giant ear swab prop? Some poor fucking
yeah.
And then all of his workout videos, because he's probably fucking a crazy micromanager. They have to say yes to everything. Those poor people had to fucking film him lifting weights and fucking doing push-ups and shit like that.
Well, and was on a tight schedule too, because he was also out in the Hamptons and shit when he was supposed to be on quarantine, which I'm not in favor of. I'm not in favor of anybody being involuntarily quarantined, but this is the bullshit they were pushing, and he was supposed to be a part of that, and then a guy catches him outside when he's supposed to be on quarantine, and then the guy tries to fight him, or he tries to fight the guy, and Cuomo on during that bullshit, but their investigation, like, we can't report on that. Conflict of interest.
Well, and shame on the executive branch too, because throw out if you think masks are necessary or not. Throw that all out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they caught like now there's a new mandate that you have to wear a mask inside. But then you have the president of the United States who is saying all this stuff about mask, 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 and he doesn't even practice what he preaches. And then, a reporter asked Jim Psaki about it, and it's almost like they blow it off.
Yeah.
I mean, you're shocked that people aren't trusting what you're saying because you're not doing what you're recommending everybody else should do. Lead by example.
Also, another good example of that is Joe Biden cut a campaign video ripping Donald Trump for not denouncing white supremacism. And as they said that, a picture of Kyle Rittenhouse flashed across the screen.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, in the first interview after he is acquitted on all counts, not a hung jury, nothing, no, acquitted unanimously on all counts, he has an interview and he says he supports Black Lives Matter, the movement as a whole. He didn't support the rioting like most common people. Doesn't seem much like a white supremacist now. And you know what they asked Jen Psaki about that too, and that was another question she just avoided.
And you know what? I get it. Press secretaries have the hardest job. They gotta finagle and bend the truth and fucking avoid questions. But something about the way Jen Psaki does it just rubs me fucking wrong.
She is kind of hot while she does it, though. Like, not super hot.
But man, I don't get that. Matt McKinley's ready to enter the fire batch.
Fire crotch.
Patch? Yes,
fire
yes.
crotch. Yeah.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, we knew where you're going with it.
Yeah. The briar patch.
Well, like I said, it's not... like, I wouldn't go out of my way, but I'm not going to turn it down. It's like she's kind of hot. She's not super hot, but she's kind of hot, as we've established before. She's one of the elusive in-between redheads. That's how it is. Giant piece of shit, though. Giant piece of shit. I don't know if that... Yeah.
That'll be a hard no for me. That'll be a Simon Cowell. That's a hard no for me. That's a no, dog.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
You know what?
I'm not saying it's for everybody. I'm just saying for me, does a little something. Not a lot, but a something.
I can't even lie. If she's there during last call back in college, yes, you know me.
Oh, she's well before last call. Let's not run her way down. I mean, I'm not saying she's not like Reba McEntire level redhead, but she's also not Carrot Top. I mean, come on. She's far more towards Reba McEntire than she is Carrot Top.
She's not. Yes, Matt. She's not Kathy Griffin.
Yeah, exactly. There we go. That's who I was looking for. Yeah, she is far above Kathy Griffin. Okay, she's not, but I'd say she's more towards Reba than she is Kathy Griffin. She's not an unattractive lady. That's all I'm saying.
Matt wants to get some of that fucking Psaki pow.
She's got an attitude, all right.
She looks.
I'm really glad my wife doesn't listen to this.
She looks like if she was a prostitute, she'd be a dominatrix named Venice.
I'm just waiting for a comment to pop up from my wife the one time she actually watches this.
Matt, it's time to get off.
Yeah, that's enough.
Which is weird because that's how most times when Matt's on top of her, that's the last thing she says is that's enough.
That's enough. Yeah, wrap it up. Wrap it up.
Wrap it up. The wrap it up box.
Dave Chappelle. Legend. The wrap it up button. That was a funny skit too.
You know what my favorite Dave Chappelle just thing he talks about. I love hearing stories about him living in Ohio.
Yeah.
And just I feel like he says he lives in Ohio because it's quiet. I think he lives in Ohio because it's full of Karens, and then he just has unlimited amounts of material.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's my theory.
I think that's a part of it. Um, let's head over to the Patreon side of things, and we'll there was a point I was gonna make. Not you were saying what were we talking about?
How you wanted to bang Jan Psaki?
I was past that. Anyway, well, I'm gonna take a leak. We'll come back.
Jan fucking